The alarm did not sound like a warning. It sounded like panic. Inside the glass learning dome of Station K-17, young alien students froze in fear. The dome was built to teach science and safety, not to survive a system failure. Red lights flashed across the ceiling. The floor shook once, then again. A deep crack ran across the dome wall, slow but deadly. Teachers shouted orders in different alien languages. But the children did not understand. Some cried, some held each other. Some simply stared at the growing crack in the glass. Outside the dome, armed security units gathered. They were trained soldiers from advanced worlds. But none of them moved forward. The commander looked at the damage report and stepped back. "The structure will collapse in 2 minutes," he said. "If we enter now, we lose everyone." A silence followed his words. No one wanted to say it. But everyone knew the truth. The children inside were being abandoned. That was when the human arrived. She was not tall. She was not glowing. She wore no elite armor. Her file name flashed on the screen behind her. Earth prototype. Status. Failed. A few officers turned and laughed. "Why is a rejected human here?" one alien said. "This is a rescue zone, not a test lab." The human said nothing. She looked at the dome. At the small shapes pressed against the glass. At the fear in their wide eyes. Another officer checked her data and shook his head. "This one failed strength trials," he said. "Failed speed tests, failed combat drills. She is not built for this." The commander raised a hand. "Enough," he said. "She cannot help, no one can." Inside the dome, a loud snap echoed through the station. A piece of the ceiling fell. The children screamed. The human stepped forward. "Open the gate," she said calmly. Several aliens stared at her. "You will die," one replied. "This dome will collapse." She nodded once. "I know." The commander laughed bitterly. "Earth sends us broken machines and calls them heroes," he said. "This is not your place, human." The human did not argue. She only asked one question. "How much time is left?" "Less than 90 seconds, the system replied. She moved before anyone could stop her. Her hand pressed against the emergency gate control. The lock resisted for half a second, then released with a sharp hiss. Alarms screamed louder. Energy shields flickered. Inside the dome, the children saw her enter. A small figure walking into danger. Not running. Not hiding. One child stepped forward and asked in a shaking voice, "Are you here to save us?" The human knelt down, meeting their eyes. "I will try," she said. "I promise I will not leave you." Outside, the officers shouted, "She is insane. She is wasting time." The commander watched the screen as structural integrity dropped fast. "Seal the gate," he ordered. But before the order could complete, the dome shook harder than before. A deep fracture spread across the ceiling. Light burst through the cracks. And gravity inside the dome shifted violently. The human pulled the children close. Her body placed between them and the falling glass. Outside the dome, every sensor spiked at once. The station AI spoke in a cold voice. "Critical failure imminent." And for the first time, the galaxy watched a human walk into a disaster, while everyone else stood back and waited for failure. The dome shook again. Dust fell from the ceiling like gray snow. Inside, the human stood still. Her arms were spread wide. Her body placed between the children and the broken glass. Outside the dome, alien officers watched in disbelief. Sensors showed rising heat, falling gravity, and failing support beams. "She will not last 10 seconds, one officer said. "She is only human." The commander did not reply. He was staring at the human's file on the screen. Earth prototype program. Terminated. The records played silently. Images from years ago appeared. On Earth, the human stood in a white testing chamber. Scientists watched from behind thick glass. Numbers moved across their screens. Strength below target, one scientist said. Reaction speed unstable, another added. She shows hesitation. The human fell during a combat test. Her opponent was a machine built for war. She did not strike back. She protected her head instead. Failure, the lead scientist said. She chooses defense over attack. The program ended that day. She was labeled a mistake. A wasted design. Back in the present, inside the alien dome. That same human lifted a broken beam with shaking arms. Not fast. Not clean. But enough. One alien officer leaned closer to the screen. She should not be able to do that, he said. Inside the dome, the children watched her with wide eyes. They were not human. Their bodies were small and fragile. Their world had taught them that strength came from weapons and power. One child whispered, "Why are you helping us?" The human did not stop moving. She shifted another piece of glass away. Her voice was calm, but tired. "Because someone should," she said. A loud metal scream echoed through the dome. One wall bent inward. Air pressure dropped. Outside, alarms grew sharper. Structural collapse at 40%, the AI reported. The commander clenched his jaw. "This is pointless," he said. "She cannot save them." Another officer replied quietly. "She has not run." Inside the dome, the human felt pain spreading through her arms. Her suit warned her of fractures and damage. She ignored it. She gathered the children close, positioned them near the strongest support column. Her movements were slow but careful. "This design makes no sense," an alien engineer said. "She is inefficient." "Yes," another replied. "But she is still standing." A piece of the ceiling broke free and fell. The human turned her back to the children. The impact hit her hard. She dropped to one knee. The children screamed. One tried to pull her arm. "Please get up," the child cried. She took a deep breath, then pushed herself back to her feet. "I am here," she said. "I am not done." Outside the dome, silence spread across the command deck. No laughter remained. No one spoke of failure now. The sensors showed something strange. Her vital signs were rising, not falling. "She is adapting," the AI said. The commander stared at the screen. A human, rejected by her own world, holding back a disaster no one else would face. Inside the dome, the lights flickered one last time, then went dark. And in the darkness, the human tightened her grip. As the final collapse began, the darkness inside the dome was complete. Only emergency lights flickered weakly along the floor. The children could hear metal bending, glass cracking, the sound of the station slowly breaking apart. The human stood in the center. Her breathing was heavy now. Pain ran through her arms, her back, her legs. Her suit flashed warning signs. Damage level critical. Mobility reduced. Outside the dome, alien officers watched the screen in silence. "She should be unconscious," one whispered. Inside, the human placed one hand on the floor, then pressed her other hand against the support column. Something inside her suit changed. A soft hum replaced the sharp alarms. Hidden systems woke up. Not designed for attack. Not designed for war. Designed for one purpose only: protection. The human's body locked into position. Her joints stabilized. Her muscles tightened in a slow, steady way. Outside, sensors spiked suddenly. "What is happening?" the commander asked. The AI answered. "Defensive protocol activated." A massive section of the ceiling finally broke free. It fell straight toward the children. The human moved. Not fast. Not graceful. But exactly where she was needed. She stepped forward and raised her arms. The impact hit her like a storm. The floor cracked beneath her feet. The children screamed. Then went silent. The ceiling stopped moving. It rested on the human's shoulders. Her body bent under the weight. But it did not break. Outside the dome, disbelief spread across every face. "That mass should crush her," an engineer said. Inside, the human's vision blurred. Blood ran from a cut on her forehead. One child touched her leg gently. "You are hurting," the child said. "Yes," the human replied softly. "But you are safe." Another shockwave hit the dome. The support column behind her cracked. The human shifted her stance. She pushed upward, slowly lifting the fallen structure higher. Every movement caused pain. But she did not stop. Outside, alien systems struggled to understand what they were seeing. Her strength output was rising. Not from power, but from control. "She is not overpowering the load," the AI said. "She is distributing it." Inside the dome, the human spoke to the children. "Stay close to me," she said. "Do not move until I tell you." The children obeyed without question now. A final warning echoed through the station. "Core rupture in 30 seconds. The commander slammed his fist on the console. "She cannot survive this." Inside, the human took a deep breath. Then made a decision. She shifted her body again, placing herself directly under the weakest point of the structure. Outside, gasps filled the command deck. "She is sacrificing herself," someone said. The children realized what she was doing. One cried, "No, please." The human smiled faintly. "Sometimes," she said. "That is what humans do." The dome shook violently. Energy surged through the walls. Light exploded from the cracks. Outside sensors went blind. The screen filled with white static. Then everything went silent. No movement. No signal. The galaxy held its breath, certain that the human prototype had finally failed. For several long seconds, no one spoke. The command deck was silent. The main screen showed nothing but static. Sensors were blind. Signals were gone. "The dome is offline," an officer said quietly. The commander closed his eyes. "It is over," he replied. Many turned away from the screen. They did not want to see the remains. They did not want to face what they believed was another failure. Then a single signal returned. "Weak. Unstable. Human." "Wait," the AI said. "Life signs detected." The screen flickered. Static faded. Smoke filled the dome. Broken glass lay everywhere. Twisted metal hung from the ceiling. And in the center of the wreckage, something was still standing. The human. She was on one knee. Her suit was cracked and burned. Her head was lowered. But around her, the alien children were alive, unhurt, holding onto her arms and legs. The command deck erupted in shocked voices. "That is impossible," one officer said. "She should be crushed," another whispered. Inside the dome, the emergency lights slowly returned. The children looked around, confused. Then they realized they were safe. One child touched the human's shoulder. "You did it," the child said softly. The human lifted her head. Her face was pale, her voice weak. "We did it," she replied. Outside, rescue teams rushed forward at once. This time, no one stopped them. Heavy doors opened. Medical units entered. But they moved carefully now, as if afraid to disturb something sacred. An alien medic scanned the human and froze. "She should not be alive," the medic said. Her body absorbed damage far beyond safe limits. The commander stepped closer to the screen. His voice was low. "She protected them," he said. "She took every impact herself." Recordings from the dome began to upload automatically. Multiple camera angles. Clear and complete. Within minutes, the footage spread beyond the station. Across trade routes. Across defense networks. Across the entire sector. Aliens watched in silence. They saw the human enter the collapsing dome. They saw others laugh. They saw her stand alone. They saw her choose protection over escape. On distant worlds, conversations stopped. Screens filled with the same image. A small human, holding up a broken ceiling, while alien children stood safely behind her. Galactic analysts replayed the data again and again. She was not designed for combat, one said. She was designed for survival. The Galactic Council called an emergency session. A rare event. Only used when something changed the balance of the galaxy. This human is not a weapon, one council member said. She is something else. Back on Station K-17. The children were escorted out. Each one looked back at the human. One child raised a hand and copied a human gesture. A simple sign of thanks. The human was placed on a medical platform. Her eyes closed. Her breathing slow, but steady. The commander watched her being carried away. His voice heavy with regret. We called her a failure, he said. The AI responded calmly. Correction. She exceeded all expectations. And across the galaxy, a new thought began to form. If this was what humans did when they failed, what would they do when they succeeded? The medical wing of Station K-17 was silent. Machines hummed softly. Lights glowed low and calm. The human lay on the healing platform. Her body still. Her suit removed. Marks of damage visible across her skin. Alien doctors moved carefully around her. They spoke in quiet tones. She should not be alive, one said. Her body took the full force of the collapse. Another doctor replied. She redirected the damage. She chose where to break. Outside the medical wing, the children waited. They refused to leave. They sat together, holding hands. One asked softly, "Is she going to wake up?" No one answered. Across the galaxy, the footage continued to spread. News channels replayed it. Military academies studied it. The title beneath the video changed many times. At first it read, Human Prototype Failure. Then it became, Unexpected Human Survival. Finally, it settled on one name. The protector of K-17. The Galactic Council chamber was full. More full than it had been in centuries. This human was rejected by her own world, one council member said. She was mocked by ours. Another leaned forward. And yet she did what none of us would. A third voice spoke. She did not fight. She did not attack. She protected children who were not her own. Silence followed. Then the highest council authority spoke. From this moment, this human will be recognized as a protector-class entity. Gasps echoed through the chamber. That title was never given lightly. It was reserved for beings who changed history. Back on Earth, old records were opened again. Scientists watched the footage in shame. We failed her, one whispered. The program director lowered his head. We measured the wrong things. On Station K-17, the human's fingers moved slightly. A soft sound escaped her throat. Her eyes opened slowly. The children rushed forward. She is awake, one cried. The human looked around, confused. Her voice was weak. Did everyone get out? She asked. A doctor answered. Yes. All of them. The children smiled. Some cried. One stepped closer and placed a small hand on hers. You kept your promise, the child said. The human closed her eyes for a moment. Then smiled. The commander entered the room. He stood stiffly. Then did something no one expected. He bowed. We were wrong, he said. The galaxy was wrong. The human struggled to sit up. You do not need to do that, she replied. Yes, he said. We do. Days later, a statue was raised on the station. Not of a weapon. Not of a warrior. But of a human standing still. Arms wide. Protecting smaller figures behind her. The plaque beneath it read, Humans were never built to rule the stars. They were built to protect life. And across the galaxy, whenever humans arrived, no one laughed anymore. They watched carefully, with respect, and a little fear, because they had learned one truth. When humans fail, they become protectors. And when humans choose to stand, the galaxy survives.